What does it look like to be a woman in the world who stops focusing so much of her time, her energy, and her money on the outside of herself? What if she goes inside? What is your skincare routine? What kind of products do you use? Come here, I'll tell you everything. Hello, beautiful, and welcome. I am Dr. Amanda Hanson. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with as many women as possible so that we can get this message to women everywhere. I want to share a story about something that happened when I was with my son and many of his friends who are all in their early 20s. I was joining them at a wine bar after work one night. And as I came in, my son had introduced me to all of his friends, the majority of which that evening were girls. And as I made my way to sit down at the end of the table with him, he and I both commented we'd noticed that they all kept looking and smiling and whispering for an extended period of time. And so at one point I happened to look down at a couple of the girls and they'd made eye contact with me, and I leaned in and I said, "What?" And they said from the other end of the table, "We can't believe you're his mom." And I said, "Why not?" And they said, Your skin is glowing. It's so radiant. We wanted to know, what is your skincare routine? What kind of products do you use?" And I said to them, "Come here, I'll tell you everything." So they all gathered around, and I went on to share with them that in fact, I don't have a skincare routine. I never even have. I do, though, have a soul care routine. And at that moment, so many of them were completely flabbergasted and said, "A soul care routine? What are you talking about? But what cream do you use on your face?" And I said, "I want to help you understand something. That's not because of anything I'm doing to my skin. It's what I'm doing for my soul. So when I walk in here and you feel that radiance, you feel that energy, you feel that brightness, it's because of what I do in here. And that is coming through." And many of them went on to say, "My God, I don't even know what you're talking about. I've never had a conversation like this before." And so we then spent the next several hours of the evening talking about what does it look like to be a woman in the world who stops focusing so much of her time, her energy, and her money on the outside of herself. What if she goes inside and nourishes her soul? And so at that, they were saying, "Oh my gosh, this sounds amazing, but what exactly is a soul care routine?" And so I shared with them some of my practices. It is wide, it is large, it is what I teach in my program, The Queen's Inauguration. But a few of the pieces are very simple, but incredibly powerful. So when I got into soul care routine, it was really birthed out of this place of noticing that I was spending more time and energy in my life and money at what I thought was self-care, my self-care routine, because I was looking around at all the women around me that were in my family, my friends. What beauty culture was telling me is that if I really wanted to take care of myself, I would go get my nails done. I would make sure my eyebrows looked perfect. I would get my hair done. I would do all of the treatments to make sure I cared for myself. And I started to really question and uncover, like I enjoy doing with most everything, is that actually what I believe to be care for myself? Because I was finding it a nuisance to go to all of these appointments, first to make the appointments, to drive to the appointments, to have all of these things done, to open my pocketbook and pay for all of these appointments, and taking time away from the true essence of getting to know myself. And so as I began abandoning one of those self-care appointments on my schedule after another, which I've whittled down to actually nothing right now. I'm not suggesting we do nothing, but because my soul is so nourished, I don't have a desire or a need to be in the world paying someone else to care for me. For me, when I really started to dissect what is self-care is when I am taking care of myself, my soul. And so it began with something as simple as a journaling practice. I started a couple of years ago journaling and asking myself, getting curious, almost like I was on a date with myself, lighting a candle, having a favorite beverage, my journal and my pen, and asking myself these questions. Amanda, what do you desire from this life? Amanda, what are you afraid of? And what would be possible if that fear did not even exist? Where did that fear come from? And as I began to do this work, I got to know myself on a level that I could not access when I was getting my nails done, when I was getting my eyebrows waxed, when I was getting my hair dyed, because I was in the energy of having something done in a distractive form. I wasn't curled up inside of my soul. And now I've also incorporated the practice of morning affirmations. Every morning in the mirror with myself, beautiful, concentrated eye contact, the most loving, beautiful phrases to myself. I meet myself in the mirror every morning. I see myself not through a lens of what needs to be fixed, what is wrong, what I can pick apart, but I see the holy creature standing in front of me every single morning with all that is changing. And in doing so, I create such a dedication and such a love for myself that it sets me up to not be a needy energy from anywhere else in the world, because I meet my needs first. I don't allow someone else to dictate how I'm going to feel about myself, especially not as a woman, especially not as an aging woman. I take care of my side of the street. I don't expect anybody else to. I also engage in dancing for myself in the mirror, really seeing myself, not dancing for performance, not dancing for male gaze, not dancing for attention, but dancing in the mirror to a beautiful, sensual song for myself, to remember my aliveness, to bring myself back online. Because I see so many women so disconnected, so disengaged from their souls, walking around operating, externally doing what they believe they're supposed to do to be loved, to be approved of. And they are so numb. I see them everywhere. That is why my work really suggests the importance of a soul care routine. Not a routine that helps you to look more approving for others. Because when you source from within, you'll always be the most magnetic. You will always be the most radiant. It really comes from inside. I cannot stress that enough. As someone who truly does not have a skincare routine, who tries, I have so many beautiful products that get sent to me. I try something here, I try something there, all of which are organic, but I don't stick to anything in particular. And as a matter of fact, I don't even wash my face before I go to bed at night. Growing up in an Italian family, my grandmother, both of my grandmothers and my mother were of the belief that washing your face at night actually strips your skin of its natural oils. And so as someone who doesn't wear foundation or anything necessarily on my skin other than vitamin C cream, there's really nothing to wash off. So truly, we are our most radiant and our most abundant when we care for ourselves within. I know we hear that over and over. You have to love yourself before you can love anyone else, but it is the absolute truth. It was only when I started a soul care routine that I fully understood the power of the energy that I am responsible for in my own life. So if you are interested in learning more about a soul care routine, you can purchase the Queen's Inauguration, which is my program that teaches you everything about this and so much more about how to become the woman who leads herself in every single aspect, whether it's her healing, her self-love, her communication, her desires, her power, her pleasure, her sensuality. Everything is there for you to become the most free version of yourself. Thank you so much for being here today. And again, remember to share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think about this idea of a soul care routine? Love always, Amanda.